If you're watching this right now, it's not an accident. God is about to shock you with a breakthrough so sudden, you won't see it coming. I know you've been waiting. I know you're exhausted. I know it feels like nothing is changing, but what I'm about to show you will completely shift how you see God's timing. There are 3 undeniable signs your season is ending. And if you have all 3, you need to hear what is coming next. Because heaven doesn't move on your schedule. It moves suddenly. And when it does, it's always bigger than you prayed for. The question is, are you standing on the edge of yours? Stay with me. Don't skip ahead. You might miss the sign that changes everything. I know you're tired, not just physically, but deep in your soul. You've been carrying silent battles, praying prayers that feel unanswered, waking up with hope and falling asleep with questions. Some days you wonder if God even remembers your name. But hear me clearly, He has not forgotten you. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? What feels like abandonment is actually alignment. What feels like delay is divine positioning. God is shaping you for a moment that requires this depth, this strength, this resilience. The length of your waiting is preparing you for the suddenness of your breakthrough. You think you're hidden, but you're being preserved. You think you're a Roberto kid, but heaven is arranging encounters, opportunities, and divine timing. And that's why God often works silently before He moves suddenly. Throughout Scripture, God follows a pattern He never abandons. Long seasons of waiting, followed by sudden breakthrough. In Acts 2:22, the disciples prayed through uncertainty, and suddenly a rushing wind filled the room. In Acts 16:25-26, Paul and Silas worshipped in chains, and suddenly the prison doors flew open. In 1 Kings 18:41-45, Elijah prayed through drought, and suddenly a tiny cloud released unstoppable rain. Years of silence became moments of miracle. Israel wandered 40 years before stepping into the promised land. Jesus lay in the grave. 3 days before resurrection power exploded through death. Suddenly, the prison doors opened. Suddenly the rain came. Suddenly the sea parted. This is heaven's rhythm. Delay is never denial. It is a divine setup. God waits until the moment seems impossible so no one can steal His glory. And this same pattern is shaping your life. You're suddenly forming, even if you can't feel it yet. Stop. Here's the first sign: you are suddenly near. When pressure intensifies, it doesn't mean you're losing ground. It means you're standing at your Red Sea moment. In Exodus 14:10-14, Israel felt trapped, terrified, and surrounded, with the enemy behind them and the sea in front of them. It looked like everything was falling apart, but God was positioning them for their greatest crossing. If the battle has gotten louder, if resistance is increasing, if life feels heavier than usual, it's because breakthrough is closer than ever. The enemy panics when freedom is near. What feels like chaos is actually confirmation. You're not going backward. You're about to cross over. God is spotting what once blocked you, even if you can't yet see the path. This pressure isn't meant to crush you. It's meant to carry you into a promise. And if that's happening to you, get ready. Because here's a second sign. If you've been feeling unusually alone, this isn't rejection. It's repositioning. John 16:32 says, "Yet I am not alone, for my Father is with me." God often clears the room before He fills your life with purpose. Moses was isolated in the wilderness. David was hidden in the fields. Jesus withdrew to lonely places. Paul spent years in obscurity. Before elevation, there is separation. If relationships faded, support systems shifted, or familiar connections disappeared, God is drawing you closer to His heart. He's teaching you to hear His voice, trust His presence, and depend on His strength. What feels like loneliness is actually sacred alignment. God is making space for divine encounters, holy clarity, and destiny-level connections. You are not abandoned. You are being prepared, and the deeper the isolation, the greater the elevation that follows. Now here's the third sign, and this one you can feel. If you've been feeling a holy restlessness, an ache you can't explain, a deep knowing that you cannot stay where you are, that's not dissatisfaction with God. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has placed eternity inside your heart." That stirring you feel is heaven calling you forward. That tightness in your chest isn't anxiety. It's anticipation. That hunger for more isn't rebellion. It's a revelation. God is awakening your spirit because He's preparing to answer. He's stretching your capacity so you can hold what's coming. This restlessness is prophetic. It's the signal that transition is near. You are outgrowing the old season, the old limits, the old patterns. And if you recognize the stirring, along with the pressure and isolation, hear me clearly. You are standing on the edge of your suddenly. You, yes, you. God is calling you by name. Jeremiah 29 minutes and 11 seconds declares He has plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Romans 8:28 reminds us that all things work together for good for those who love Him. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are not behind. You are positioned. You are not delayed. You are on heaven's schedule. Every tear, every prayer, every lonely night has been shaping you for this moment. This is your Red Sea season, where fear turns into faith and pressure becomes passage. Lift your eyes, straighten your shoulders. Let courage rise. What you're about to step into will make sense of everything you endured. So what does the shock actually look like? It looks like God is doing immeasurably more than you asked or imagined. Just as Ephesians 3:20 promises, one moment you're praying small prayers, and the next, doors open you never knocked on. Peace replaces panic. Provision appears before you can explain the need. Relationships are restored. Clarity floods your mind. Hope returns to places that once felt dead. What you planned was survival, but what God orchestrated is overflow. Conversations change. Opportunities appear. Burden, lift. Burden, lift. And it happens fast. Faster than your fear. Faster than your doubt. This is the holy shock. Not just that life shifts, but that God's goodness overwhelms you. The doors you begged for won't compare to the ones He opens. The relationships you mourned won't compare to the ones He brings. The timeline you built will fade when you see His perfect orchestration. So right now, choose expectation over hesitation. Mark 11:24 says, "To believe you have received, and it will be yours." If this message stirred your faith, type, "My subtly is coming." Let heaven hear your declaration. Share this with someone who needs strength today. Stay connected. Your breakthrough testimony is forming, and I want to celebrate it with you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May His face shine upon you and give you peace. I speak clarity over your mind, strength over your heart, and courage over your steps. You are seen. You are covered. You are deeply loved. Walk forward in faith and quiet confidence, knowing heaven is moving on your behalf. Your subtlety is closer than you think.